making their way to the mic. From the campus of Georgia College, weighing in a combined weight of 360 pounds, they are the WGUR Tag Team Champions of the World, The Frigg Show.
And much like most wrestlers, we cannot retire until we drop those titles to someone, which we will never do because we're just great.
We're taking those to the grave, people.
Yeah, we are. Sorry about it.
Oh, well. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Frigg Show.
Now at Thursdays at 11 o'clock, and if you haven't figured that out by now, then you're probably not listening, actually.
Probably, because if you think it's Tuesday at 6, then you're very much mistaken.
When do we have a show Tuesday at 6?
Well, it was last semester.
Tuesday at 3:30.
Whatever. I was making up a time.
Fair enough.
Excuse me for wanting to be the classic rock hour.
Bye, Benny.
Hi, Benny. Bye, Benny. Hi, Benny. Really?
I don't know. If he comes back right now, that'd be cool.
That would be amazing, and I would most likely do something in the studio that I cannot say verbally.
Fair enough. Well, you could say it verbally, just not while these microphones are on and we're broadcasting to the general public.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, how are you doing today, general public? How you doing? You doing good? You can't talk to me, but I can talk to you.
Well, actually, they can talk to us.
Oh, yeah, they can. They can always call us at 478-445-1694, or if they're listening on Mixlr, they can join in on the chat. How many people are listening on the Mixlr, Alex? Let's not talk about that right now.
Yeah.
So, our top story tonight. A man skipped work for 6 years and no one...
Start with the top story at the beginning of the show?
Of course, that's how it goes.
Man.
Usually we talk about wrestling, though, to open up the show, but in this case, a man skipped work for 6 years and no one noticed until he won an award.
So consider this. For 6 years, a building supervisor in Spain quietly collected about... in American, a $41,500 salary from his local government without showing up to work. And he wouldn't have gotten away with it if it wasn't for him getting an award for 20 years of service.
Wow. So, of course, Joaquin Garcia was fined $30,000 for the much extended paid vacation that he took from his water treatment plant in Cadiz. That's apparently the maximum penalty that government officials could have given him. Unfortunately, though, if he's been making $41,500 a year just sitting on it, a $30,000 fine for it was pretty generous.
I'm going to do some quick math at the moment.
He's going to do some quick...
So if he was collecting that for 6 years, yeah, he collected almost $250,000.
Yeah, so if he was doing that, doing nothing, I'm sure he blew it all on stuff, so maybe he couldn't pay it back, but...
I have some ideas of what he might have spent it on, but...
But, like, how do you not know that this person you're working with just doesn't show up to work? You're getting payroll and...
And so, actually, even here in the article, people were wondering whether he was still working there and if he had retired or if he had died. But the payroll still showed that he was receiving a salary. And this is what the deputy mayor, Jorge Blas, told the Spanish newspaper El Mundo. And then he called him up and asked, what did you do yesterday, the month before that? And he didn't know what to say.
So, yeah.
And then the water company that Garcia worked for thought that the plant was being overseen by the local authorities because they hadn't seen Garcia in so long.
His attorney decided to blame bullying at his workplace for his absence. And also he said that there was no work to do. Pick a story. You're a lawyer. Pick a story.
People close to Garcia told El Mundo that he dedicated himself to reading philosophy instead, and they did not report the bullying out of fear that he could be fired.
Okay,
And then he retired after these allegations came to light.
Gee, I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, wow.
I mean, do you think that you could get away with not showing up to work like 2 days in a row?
No.
I know I couldn't.
If I miss one rehearsal for Wesley just out of the blue, I will get yelled at. Like,
yeah.
And I'm in charge of the worship team. So,
yeah.
Why? How do you get away with it for 6 years?
Spain? I don't know.
I don't know either. People are very polite over in Europe.
But also, Garcia has since petitioned to the deputy mayor to not pay the $30,000 fine and to have the judgment reviewed.
I don't think that's gonna fly.
I don't think he has anything going in his favor.
Not one bit. Nice try, Joaquin. But
it's it's worth a shot, I guess, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
No.
No. I'm sorry, but no.
Let us know. Do you think you could what is the maximum amount of time you think you could get away with not being at work?
478-445-1694. That's 478-445-1694. Call 478-445-1694 to give us your thoughts.
And wait, that's not all. Call now. And
Call now and you'll receive a free nothing.
yay! So Caleb's old superpowers have returned.
Yes, but they've been upgraded. So this time, I don't know if you remember, a couple years ago.
Was it a couple years ago or was it like last year?
Last year. It was at some point.
Yeah.
Pretty recent.
Some while back.
Yeah. I static shocked the microphone, and the microphone turned on in the middle of a song break, which was cool. And if you're wondering what happened during that song break, not only did I do it again, but apparently I've also developed the power to turn the computer that plays our songs, that channel, off.
So you turn the mic on and the computer off, so that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, twice during that span.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what happened there.
So we are going to inject Caleb with a serum that will nullify his powers.
If you try to do that, my powers will become more powerful than you can imagine.
Okay, Static Shock.
Yep, that's who I am.
Superhero Static Shock.
Woo, woo, woo.
Remember that show, everyone?
Everyone should remember that show. It's so good.
Actually, speaking of which...
Didn't Nick Cannon write that theme song, by the way?
Maybe. But speaking of Static Shock, I remember seeing this about a week ago or so, and I believe it was fake. Somebody photoshopped a poster of a reboot of Static Shock, except that was going to be played by Jaden Smith.
Oh, no.
And everyone said this would either be good or the worst thing.
Yeah. There's no way he's gonna see it coming if you try to send your sparks at him right in front of him. You're gonna have to blast it and reflect it off of something like a mirror. But how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?
Wi-Fi signal. Because that's what happens whenever he tries to push his eyebrows up. He just makes a Wi-Fi signal in his forehead.
Yes.
But we're going to move on. This is a slightly more serious note right now. We all know that in just the past few days, Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia passed away.
Yes.
And
so,
it is unfortunate.
First of all, hope the family's doing okay. Hope you guys are coping.
And reports said that he did. He passed away in his sleep, and he'd been suffering from some heart problems in the past few years. So, once again, condolences to the family. We do wish for everything to head towards brighter times. I understand that it might be a hard time right now.
Of course. But now that that's happened, it's time for the government to appoint a new Supreme Court justice. And most of us, we don't really know how that system works. I mean, we know the president appoints and Congress approves, but we don't really know what that exact system looks like. Well, fortunately, you have the Frigg Show here to clear everything.
Exactly. The 100% accurate Frigg Show.
And after we do this, we're going to go out and have some onion-seasoned burgers.
Exactly.
Of course. So, I just shocked the mic again, but nothing happened.
Good.
So,
well, it was already on. So.
Yeah. I've been okay, so since that incident with the microphone, whenever that was, I had not been static shocked until like last week. But now everything has been shocking me.
And maybe it's the changing of the times.
It's really uncanny. So here's how a Supreme Court justice is selected. So first, a Supreme Court vacancy opens after either a sitting justice dies, retires, or is promoted to the Galactic Circuit.
Step 2. The president wistfully crosses out his own name or her own name from the list of potential candidates.
That's very, professional of you, very humble. So then the person the president eventually does appoint gets slowly lowered by a rope into the Senate committee that approves the appointing of the new judge.
And then that nominee is charged a one-time $30 background check fee.
And then they're interviewed and asked a series of questions, including whether they see themselves in that exact same place 35 years from now.
Then, the Judiciary Committee members ask the nominee whether they are capable of writing a dissent that can be described as blistering.
Then that candidate promises that they have no opinion whatsoever on controversial issues. They don't know what the controversial issues are and have frankly never heard such words uttered before.
Then, the Senate takes the nominee out to drinks. See how they are in like a nice casual, just A commonplace setting, get a few drinks in them and see how they act.
Of course, you gotta have a fun judge, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Then that nominee stands and wears their predecessor's robe, the person who they're replacing. It's draped over them to see if the government could save a few bucks on not ordering a new one.
Because, robes are expensive.
Of course.
And then, after following months of direct questioning, witness testimony, and poring over the nominees' qualifications and judicial history, the Senate votes on whether they like the president or not.
That's pretty much the deciding factor.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if confirmed, the justice will take the oath of office and be assigned a bench buddy to help them get through their first few opinions.
Then the final step is that if this candidate is not confirmed, the process repeats indefinitely until the other party holds the White House.
Someone else gets elected president, or the country is awash in hot crimson blood of neighbor killing neighbor.
Whichever comes first.
Of course.
Like the Purge.
Yeah.
Actually, apparently there was there's another Purge coming out this year.
Really?
Purge movie.
What other stories can you I guess you can tell it from someone else's point of view, but it'll really be the same thing.
I really don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Purge.
That's what it is. It's called Purge Election Year.
You're kidding.
Nope. It's coming out July 1st.
Trapped on the streets of Washington, D.C., a senator, Elizabeth Mitchell, and her head of security, Frank Grillo, must survive an annual night of terror where all crime is legal for 12 hours.
Yep.
It's going to be released on July 1st. It sounds like the regular Purge, but with government officials.
It's the Purge in a different storyline.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I think this is the third Purge movie.
There's a second Purge movie?
I think.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, never mind. Maybe it's just the... Okay. Now,
movies that didn't need sequels. The Purge and The Hobbit, just because they needed to be one movie.
Okay, here's what it is. I'm looking here at the Wikipedia page. Well, we do know that Wikipedia can be quite non-trustworthy.
The Purge.
We can trust this when it comes to this movie because most people don't care.
And Wikipedia is more reliable than people say because they have to cite sources or they get taken down. Unless this was posted literally 5 minutes ago, we're good.
Yeah, so apparently there was the first Purge, then 2014 had the Purge Anarchy, and then this is the Purge Election Year.
So, not anarchy. Because there's
not anarchy,
some kind of
because clearly there is still some government going around.
Of course.
Except for the 12 hours of that night where they say, hey, guess what? The government doesn't count for anything, so go have...
do whatever you want.
Legal fun.
What would you do during the Purge, Alex?
Well, first, I would just be a civil human being.
I was about to say, I'm probably just going to sit back, have a glass of wine, and watch Bones.
Yes, and...
perhaps rob a bank, but...
well, let's say we had to do at least one thing during the Purge. And this doesn't have to be like on the, I'm going to go invade a house and, like, try and hold people hostage kind of thing, but just one thing that you would want to do during the Purge. And whether that's go to a Starbucks and take all the coffee or ravage a Chick-fil-A.
I would illegally download all the music that I want.
There we go. You would purchase the most efficient internet connection possible, download all the music you wanted, and then just boop, we're good.
Yep, downgrade.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, of course.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to the bloody show.
Hey, Caleb.
What?
Do you think that we should read this list of pitiful people's birthdays?
Of course. Could I get some decorum, please? So,
now we're both going to not be Wade Barrett.
Yeah, so today is Thursday, February 18th, 2016. And 1 out of 366 days this year. And no, I'm not stupid. It's a leap year. So...
birthdays.
Yes, so of course each individual day it's probably somebody's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And today,
just like mine is on May 17th.
And mine is July 2nd, and I share it with Lindsay Lohan. Bob Saget for Alex. Yes. So
I was about to say that I had a frog in my throat that was in the form of a burp. So
of course
I was like go Bob Saget. that would not have been pretty. Bob Saget.
So let's take a look at the birthdays, and we're not going to mention the first one on the list first because we have a very special thing we want to do today. Alex, would you like to take it?
Okay, so here's the deal. There is a certain person's birthday today. He is turning 62, and in honor of him,
We're gonna
take the rest of the people's birthdays today and Travoltify them. So
so the person whose birthday it is
John Travolta. He's turning 62.
I wanted you to say the Travolta name. I just couldn't remember it.
We have to explain why we're calling him this.
Fair enough. So we're gonna Travoltify all the birthday names. We're gonna tell you who they are, of course.
So John Travolta's, and here's how the system's gonna work. We're gonna Travoltify his name, and his name was Glom Gazingo.
Glom Gazingo. Yeah.
Seriously. So the first birthday up on the list today
is Drew Draw.
Dr. Dre.
Of course.
Turning 51. Next up is Vanna White.
So we're gonna...
And we have the Travoltifier up and running.
Vincent Waite.
And she is turning 59.
Happy birthday, Vincent.
Vincent Waite.
Vincent Waite. Next up is Matt Dillon. You might know him from some terrible comedy movies and also Crash.
It's surprising that oh wait, that guy was in Crash.
Yeah.
Maya Dizon.
Maya Dizon.
Maya Dizon is Matt Dillon.
Yes.
Which is still surprisingly close.
Yes, of course. Next, we have
I believe that we should do this lovely lady next.
This particular human being.
She was the wife of a very famous British artist.
Of course, so
Miss
Yusuf Ortiz.
or Yoko Ono.
Is she related to Randy Ortiz, I wonder?
I don't believe so. She is turning 83 years old today.
All right. Jillian Michaels. Let's put her name in there next.
Need to read how to spell it.
She is 42 years old today, though she would probably tell you that she's 29 years old today. And
Jaden Marshim.
Jaden Marshim. Happy birthday, Jaden.
My goodness.
Next we have a classic oldie, Enzo Ferrari. You might know him as the inventor of the Ferrari.
Eoin Ferguson.
Ferguson, not Ferguson. Ferguson.
With a Z.
Yes, so...
Now, how does that make you feel?
Eoin Ferguson. Happy birthday, Mr. Ferguson.
Now, this one I'm just curious because I'm going to enter the name as it is said here.
I'd also like to see you do first and last afterwards, if you remember her last name.
Yeah, got it.
So,
I had to do my history thought here.
All right, so we're not going to tell you until we do both of the names, but
so
the first name that we're translating over is Marley Kazing.
Marley Kazing, K-Z-I-N-G.
Yes, and then her true, real, God-given name, Marley Turner. We're talking Mary Tudor, Mary the First of England, also known as, put in her nickname too, Bloody Mary.
Oh goodness, this is gonna be something Marley.
Yeah, Bob Marley.
We have
Brody Morphe.
Brody Morphe.
Wonderful.
Brodus Clay. Funk is on a roll.
So.
Sorry, that's a WWE thing.
Of course.
We apologize, everyone.
Adrian Neville. Oh, that's Gary Neville, the soccer player.
Let's figure that out.
Adrian Neville is a wrestler. Graham Nelson.
And now I'm curious because I always see what Adrian Neville is.
Yes, let's. It's not Adrian Neville's birthday today, but we're just gonna see what that is going for.
Aiden Nelson.
Okay, so
that one's actually really close.
Yeah, not too bad.
So we have our curiosities here when it comes to weird names.
Sybil Shepherd is turning 66.
What was she in? She was in Moonlighting.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis.
How did I forget? I have that entire series back at the apartment.
Yeah, you do.
So Sybil Shepherd. Okay, that's 2 L's.
She was also portrayed as a fire-breathing dragon on Family Guy, back when it was still funny.
When was it?
Oh, like early to mid.
Colby Sorfens.
Colby Sorfens. Happy birthday, Colby Sorfens. Turned 66 today.
I will have to say, if I had another choice of a musical to be in other than Chicago that I'm in right now, I would love to be in Grease.
Grease would be fun.
It would be so much fun. So now, with that being said, happy birthday. But now we're going to do something special. We're going to do Caleb and I.
Yeah, so this will be fun.
So do you want to use your full name? Actually, I'm curious what your full name.
Richard Caleb Tillman is my full name. Let's see what
Ruard Kesey.
Ruard Kesey is my name. Travolta-flied. Let's take a look.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I was expecting at least 3 names.
Yeah, so let's take a look at Alexander Benjamin Johnston.
Yeah, Alexander Benjamin Johnston.
So we've got
Alexander
Bailery. Not.
I think he just took the first two names at C.
Yeah.
So let's do this again.
With Caleb Tillman.
And Alex Johnston.
So Caleb Tillman is Keelan Thompson. Keenan Thompson?
Yeah, Keenan Thompson.
Where's Kel Mitchell when I need him? Alex Johnson?
Abel's
Johnson. Not Johnson like most people say, but with a Z. Johnson.
That's even more of an insult to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm really curious. We can't use the but
FriggShow.
But FriggShow is
Finn Smoyth.
The Finn Smoyth.
Finn Balor?
Yes.
Bow, 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 bow.
Welcome to the Finn Smoyth.
Wonderful. So.
And actually, one last person. We're going to do our roommate, William Thompson.
We should do Benedict Esposito, too.
Okay, we'll do two more people.
So
William Thompson is Wallace Thompson.
Okay, so the last name's kind of close.
Man, he got treated nicely.
Yeah, for real. Benedict Esposito will be very interesting. The wickedly talented Benjamin Edwards.
Huh.
All right. I can see that actually being what he calls him.
Benjamin Edwards.
Benjamin Edwards. So.
That's really interesting. I want one more name to do.
One more name. Okay, sure. Barack Obama.
Wait.
Brock Lesnar is Brooke Lee. That's a Lee with 4 E's, by the way.
Swing.
So.
Now I'm just even more curious.
We'll have to see if Brooke Lee is going to win the WWE Championship from Triple H at WrestleMania.
Wait. If Brooke Lee is going to beat...
Yeah, if Brooke Lee is going to win the triple threat match against Dawn Adjams. And...
We're Travoltifying as fast as we can.
Yeah, we're trying really hard. So it's Brooke Lee, Dawn Adjams, and Rowan Rhee for the chance to face... For the chance to face... Wait for it. Almost. For the chance to face Theodore Hoyle at WrestleMania for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. At... Warren. Warren-mania. So...
Warren-mania. Welcome back, everybody. We have a little bit more breaking news for you.
Yes, since the pizza thing wasn't bad enough, there's even more injustice in the world.
It's getting pretty bad out there. A local dad has realized he's really concerned that he's running out of family photos to digitize.
It's sad, because, that's a dad's favorite pastime, is digitizing old family photos.
And according to our article here, he was flipping through the panel pages of his last photo album on the living room shelf, and Adam Forrester appeared distressed on Wednesday as he told reporters he was quickly running out of images to digitize. He even said, "I finished up all the ones from when the kids were little, including the ones from the old house, and I already made my way through that box Grandma gave us, so pretty soon there won't be anything left to put on the computer." And he says that of the imminent culmination of a project that has occupied many of his weeknights and Saturday afternoons since he came across a scanner on sale at a local electronics retailer 3 months ago.
Right.
And he even says, "I suppose I could still go through and take the red eye out of them, and I should get a hard drive to back them up on in case something happens to my computer. And maybe I'll check the attic again to make sure that I'm not missing any old school portraits or that one time I was really good at cooking onions." And at press time, sources confirmed that a relieved-looking Forrester had hit upon the idea of going back through the entire collection and adding approximate dates to every photograph.
So he's finding more projects. That's fortunate. Okay. Okay.
So it seems like all is well.
All is well with that young dad.
Good.
So, now a more pressing story. Go to the first tip. Now we have a more pressing story. This is true. Very, very much true. So, Alex, what would you do if you were driving and you saw a tornado?
I would immediately make a U-turn with my 2005 Honda Odyssey's epic turning radius and drive the other way.
One thing that's known as safe to do is to just pull over, leave your car, and get in a ditch somewhere and
that too.
Cover up.
It depends on how far away from the tornado I am.
Yes, but sometimes people drive and don't see the tornado and don't know why so many cars are just stopped in the road. That's what happened when a South Florida man found himself speeding towards an approaching tornado, but not knowing that there was a tornado because he was too busy yelling at the traffic.
Now, I'm just going to say, you could be yelling at traffic all you want, but how in the world do you not notice a tornado.
We're watching the video right now. It's not like it's hidden behind anything. It's very obviously there. This is the dash cam from his car, and
it's wow.
Yeah.
And there's even a point where he does see debris get thrown into the road, and the car is coming to a halt and trying to stop and get out, and he doesn't appear to see it. He instead excitedly exclaims that he's in the middle of a freaking hurricane.
We said it a little nicer than he did.
And carries on driving and honking at other cars to move.
Wow.
And he even posted in this video's comment section on YouTube, if any one of the naysayers have ever driven in South Florida during any storm, you would know that comes down in sheets, and roads flood quickly, and you have to keep your eyes on the road. And
it's very true.
He even says drivers are not good in the rain, and I do not care to sit in a tornado and watch it destroy stuff. But at the same time, while he's being quite the reckless driver, yelling at people during a tornado, and not really paying attention to the natural disaster that's happening around him, storm enthusiasts were instead really excited over his footage.
Yeah, I mean, that's great footage getting really close up. That's fantastic.
And then, once again, even storm enthusiast, a Southeast Louisiana storm spotters team, remarked on YouTube on how extremely idiotic it is to drive straight into a tornado.
Well, of course,
you would think.
I can understand, though, him just like, if he doesn't see the tornado itself, I don't know how he does it, but if he doesn't, I can understand him thinking it's just a regular Florida storm. I've driven through a storm in Florida. It's brutal.
It is.
Everywhere you are, you're right by the coast, so of course the storms get insane. But the tornado's very visible.
Yeah. There's no way to ignore it.
Yes.
Watch the video. You will not be able to, and you're going to be surprised on it. He is. And storm chasers were even saying that people spend thousands of dollars in years, not thousands of years, but just spend years and thousands of dollars to intercept tornadoes in the name of science, like kind of like how it was in the movie Twister, or even those storm chaser shows.
Yes.
And then there's going to be guys like this who put themselves in danger for a bit of a giggle and just not noticing it. It's just how, I really want to know how they don't notice.
Well, they can, be stupid all they want to. Natural selection and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not saying I hope anyone dies, though.
Exactly. But
so since we...
But as a nice little PSA at the end of this, federal agencies do recommend that if you are far enough away from a tornado, you drive out of the tornado's path at right angles. Or if you are too close and cannot get away, do not try to outrun it. But like Caleb said, stop your vehicle, either stay inside or find a ditch.
Yes.
And also, if you are caught in the extreme winds or flying debris, drivers are advised to park as quickly and safely as possible out of traffic lanes and to stay inside of their vehicle with their seatbelts fastened, and heads covered below windows with hands or any soft item like a blanket or cushion, and if possible, seek shelter. Little PSA there.
All right, so...
Come on, it's time for America's favorite game show.
Oh boy, I love The Price is Right.
No.
Oh, then it must be Jeopardy!
Oh, come on.
Perhaps reruns of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Seriously? No. It's time for Where in the World is Caleb's Fez? Filmed before a live studio audience at WGUR 95.3 The Noise.
I'm so glad these people let us use their studio.
It is very nice of them.
Yes, so, welcome everyone to Where in the World is Caleb's Fez? Criminal activities abound.
Criminal activities?
Just from my fez.
Oh, okay.
Not here, not on the show.
Well, if this is the first time you've listened to the show, we will run through the rules for you.
So, my fez is located somewhere in the world doing some kind of shenaniganing.
And it's up to you to figure it out. But we're here to help.
So, I will give you 3 hints, but there is a catch.
One of them is a lie.
So, you have to determine which one is the lie, and based on the other 2, where my fez could be.
Mm-hmm.
And what it could be doing.
So, Caleb, are you ready to give the hints today?
I suppose I am ready to give our hints.
Well, let us hear.
I have a bit of a different thing today.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to perform all of my hints in exuberant song.
I see. So, hit us with the first hint.
Hint number 1. Da 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 da.
Quite Quite interesting. Reminds me of some kind of park.
Yes, of course.
Okay. What is hint number 2?
God save our queen, the queen.
I am insulted that you don't know.
God save our queen.
I see. What is the third hint?
The third song is
John C.
Quite interesting.
Yes, of course.
So the first hint was that first tune.
First hint was that dun 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 dun.
The second hint was
God save the queen.
And the third hint was
John C.
get him out of here. Get him out of here.
That was the hint.
Yes, I know, but come on.
So we'll give you one song to think about it, and that song is Silhouettes by Colony House. I suppose it is about time for you to be revealed to you the answer.
Brilliant phrasing, Caleb.
That's for Botchamania right there.
Oh, yes.
So, if you guessed that my Fez was on the Isle of Wight in England, placing a Triceratops into the middle of the road, you are correct.
I'm very impressed if you got that correct.
Yes. See, my Fez is a bit of a time traveler. And so last Friday, he put a Triceratops on the Isle of Wight, middle of the road, because shenanigans.
And it was in the village of Godchill.
Yes.
And it was subsequently named Godchilla.
Yes. And, of course, it was all fun and games. One man posted...
Okay. This answer's a bit late, but she's quite close.
Is Caleb Fez wrestling a velociraptor? Emily Davis, you were rather close.
You are quite close, but no, it was putting a Triceratops in the middle of the road on the Isle of Wight.
So, this is a true story. There was a Triceratops on the middle of the road in the Isle of Wight, tweeted out by someone who posted that priceless moment when you're driving home from work at 3 a.m. and the road is blocked by a 20-foot Triceratops.
Hashtag God bless BM and hashtag someone needs a medal.
So, that would be my Fez who needs a medal, and it was all fun and games until the Triceratops murdered 14 people.
Whoa.
I read that wrong. It was a statue of a Triceratops that didn't kill anyone.
Exactly.
Oh.
Goodness, Caleb. It was your Fez that did that to the 14 people, not the Triceratops.
Of course. My Fez is a bit of a sociopath.
Yes, and while everyone had a good laugh out of this, it did cause some problems, but that's what happens when a 20-foot Triceratops is in the middle of the road.
Of course. So, that was Where in the World is Caleb's Fez. Someone's in my ear telling me the other guys need to get back in the studio because they have a very important announcement.
Hey, listen.
Get back in here.
Hey. Okay.
All right,
seriously.
we're back, and we came back just to say,
Finally, it's 12:01, and you're listening to WGUR 95.3 The Noise, broadcasting from the campus of Georgia College in Milledgeville. And this is The Frigg Show.
If you want to connect with us, you can always find us on Facebook
at The Frigg Show.
If you'd like to listen to our shows later, or listen to shows we've done in the past, most of them will be on YouTube. Just find
The Frigg Show.
And we have very few episodes available on SoundCloud if you look for
The Frigg Show.
And a couple on iTunes as well if you look for
The Frigg Show.
We also have merchandise on redbubble.com if you just look for
Caleb and Alex, The Frigg Show.
Yeah, just The Frigg Show.
Morgan Freeman.
Just Google The Frigg Show, and every result you find, just do interact in every way possible. Unless they found Frigg fiction somewhere.
Leaf, how you doing on that?
So, anyway.
Leaf, tell us. I'm going to be seeing you in like 10 days, but tell us.
So that's been a successful show.
Quite.
Do you have anything else that you'd want to add before we close out?
Well, I think this phrase is in dire need of a role reversal.
Yes, of course.
Caleb, you can buy me a wingman anytime.
No, Alex, you could buy me mine.
You see, this is why we can't roll reverse, because I didn't know your line that well.
That's okay. So from now on, I'm doing it first.
Let's say it the right way.
Alex.
Yes, Caleb?
You can be my wingman anytime.
No, Caleb. You can be mine.
We need to get that song in the system. But until then, we're going to leave you with a classic. This is Bohemian Rhapsody by the best band who ever performed live ever, Queen. We'll see you here next week at 11. Good night.